Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the lab. So today is another coaching session stream for tonight. We have our guest, Mr. Hudson. Uh, you wanna introduce yourself first?
Yeah, my name is Hudson. I'm just a pretty much average Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Okay,
Just trying to get better.
nice,
Big thing I'm trying to prepare for is I've got a 120 man event this weekend, and I just kind of wanted to work on some small habits here and there, and then maybe pick out a deck here.
nice. Welcome to the lab. So you said it's what 120 people tournament this weekend?
Yeah,
Was that like your local area tournament or something or
it is.
fair?
I don't know if it'll be 120. I know 120 people signed up, and it was a pre-sign up.
Well, that's pretty big
It'll
already.
probably be it'll
Hmm.
probably be like 80 to 60.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a big one also. It's like a mini regional in some areas.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions. Like, how long you've been playing so far?
Uh, so I first started playing competitively with Heretico 2K back when Photon Shockwave came out.
That's what, 2011? Late 11 or early 12, right? I think.
Something like that. It's all fused into one for me at this
Okay,
point.
fair.
But I did take a long break because of the emergency ban to Pepe. I
Okay.
had the full deck day one, and I got um,
Yeah,
angry with Konami and probably took about a 2 year break.
fair. So I think that was during what, 2016? So you
Yeah,
took
so I
two.
missed all of Zoo, and
Nice.
then full power Draco. I missed full power Draco. So I came back with Pendulum Magician and Draco, but mostly the Pendulum Magician FTK was right when I came back.
Okay, yeah, so that was I think that was early 18. I remember that played it.
So maybe it was about 3 year break. I don't. It's all
Something like that. It's
muddled there. Something like that.
cool. So you've been playing so you've been playing what, competitively since 18, I assume, or
Kind of on and off. As a working adult,
mm-hmm.
gets a little bit harder.
Yeah, fair.
So I haven't had as much repetition, and that's probably why I have even more bad habits now
Ah,
versus just constantly grinding and playing a deck every day.
yeah. So, what have you like? Have you been to like, what kind of level tournament you usually go to in average? Or
Um, Locals, I've always gone to regionals and got an invite,
oh,
if you want
nice.
to call that, but I think I've only went to one nationals, but it was way back again around Heretico TK.
So that was before the break. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
even then, it's more just been I'll get an invite, and that's one less person getting an invite to nationals.
Which area are you around? Like for the region?
Colorado.
Colorado. Okay, so it's like, wait, Colorado. So what kind of which area regional you actually go to? Like LA ones or?
So I live closer to Denver, um, but we usually have to go to a regional down all the way in Colorado Springs, which is kind of
Okay.
like the boonies, really.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird. Main Denver area doesn't really do very many regionals.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Fair.
lot of local politics with all the Yugi shops around there. But we actually do have pretty decent amount of strong players.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Joey Chow usually comes down. Brendan Beckman,
Oh,
Leo
nice.
Naya.
Nice,
So
nice.
I'm actually good. I'm friends with Brendan Beckman actually. So not that that's really a big name or anything.
Okay, so you are able to get like regional invites and have you been to any YCS in during the time you played?
I've actually never been to YCS. Every time I've had a chance to go like YCS Dallas or like Anaheim or something big like that, I've always had work conflict
Ah,
or
fair.
family.
Yeah, it's be like that. It's normal.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always kind of been a bucket list thing.
Okay. So let me see. Have you played like the remote duels during the pandemic? It's been or a year at this point.
I haven't done remote duels, just since locals are still kind of running underground tournaments,
Okay,
that aren't Konami sanctioned. So I've kind of been lucky there, but a lot of it's just been more, I guess, hand testing on EDO
fair,
Pro.
fair.
That in Colorado has been crazy with COVID rules. So
Yeah. All right, let me give me a minute editing a comment. Hmm.
oh yeah, I forgot. Can't say uh the C word for YouTube.
Oh no. I'm just someone asking get how does anyone get into this kind of coaching session? I'm just trying to quickly edit a command for it.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, cool. So there should be a command coaching in case anyone asking. I hope it's working. Hopefully. Well, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna fix it later. So, if you have anything, just message me on either Facebook or Discord, and I'll talk to you about details. That's usually how it works.
Pretty much what I did.
Yeah. Huh, my bots are not working again. Well, that's sad. Yeah, sometimes be like that. It's annoying. It's my bots are on and off like very infrequently for no reason.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay, so back to what we talked. So you said you haven't done very much remote duel. You've been pretty much going to like still real life like locals. How big is your like usually locals in average?
Uh, Usually the nights I go, it'll usually be like a 20-man 5 round.
Oh, that's pretty good still. That's actually not bad. Like especially even during pandemic.
Yeah, so it's usually a good mix of you get a good mix of rogue, and then there's some strong players, I guess, to
Nice.
put it
No.
that way. Strong for a local, so.
Yeah, and do you like have an average like a record usually when you had 5 round locals?
Yeah, I usually probably go either X1 or X2,
Oh, not bad.
as long as I'm not messing around with the deck.
Hmm.
If I'm being serious, it's usually X1, X2.
Not bad. 5 round X1, X2. That's decent at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty average.
I mean, it's actually X1, X2 is if you can maintaining X1, then you're already above average. I mean, that's at least how I see it usually.
Yeah.
And so like, do you have any like what deck you've played like recently in the past couple formats?
So recently, I did mess with double VFD Virtual World.
Hmm.
I mean,
Good.
can't beat that.
I was not playing that time.
Yeah,
Glad it didn't.
yeah, that deck was degenerate.
Yeah, it
We'll put
is.
it that way. I have played different variants of Dragon Link, but not super extensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then currently, I only in tournament I've played a little bit of Invoke Shaddoll Dogma, and then I have been messing around with Dragon Link. as well.
Nice.
Usually a Sala's list.
Ah,
I've kind
fair.
of enjoyed that one. I haven't been won over by the Silver Rocket list yet.
Yeah. I mean, I also wasn't really playing that much, or I am playing, but I'm also playing more like real life tournaments recently since I
Okay,
came back from the 3 months break after VFD got banned. Um, yeah, so that's why I haven't posted too much about my deck because I mainly just only playing locals, and I mean, even the online remote duel, half of them are still locals.
gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So you've been messing around with the with the chamber version, which is okay. It's still a decent choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got any questions you want to ask about, well, any deck, to be honest?
Um, I guess the big one I get really cut up with, or kind of stuck on when I'm comboing and Dragon Link is determining when I need to use both LP Pisty and then kind of building the appropriate, I guess, link arrows for it.
This is
There are
only
times,
it is only for when you play the tiding version, right?
correct.
Fair. The tiding version does have that kind of issue where it could be awkward since none of your combos are really like fixed combo. You're half of the time freestyling, just so you will eventually face those kind of questions.
Yeah, the big thing I always come up against is like making sure I'm getting up the proper negates or getting like a spears up, I guess is usually the main goal you go for.
Mm-hmm.
That way you have a minor Nibiru protection.
Yeah, that's
But
usually step
even
number one.
then, and then like holding your, I guess, boot sector
Mm-hmm.
for as long as you're able to.
Yeah. Well, I think, but well, I haven't played. Well, at least I still try to list, but I haven't played this as much as the other Rocket version that much. Based on my understanding of the deck, it's like you if you don't open chamber, so you try to then you will use your LP try to get to chamber, and then once you get to chamber, you realize you have a lot of link monster where your big negates are usually synchro monster. So you are trying to convert those link monster back into synchro monster by going through Quabble. And Quabble requires a rocket, or at least a rocket for its material. So the idea will be like you LP to access chamber to grab tiding as one of the interruption, then you link chamber into Pisty, use Pisty to get rocket back. So this rocket will turn on your Quabble access. Then use Quabble to pop itself to re-get the to get those rockets back to the field. And therefore using the rocket monster to perform synchro summons, either Savage or Hot Red, or if your hands are good, both. I think that's usually how the the idea is.
Yeah, I usually end up using a striker grab recharger a lot as well.
Yeah, you
Um,
have to do that. Let me just draw a random opening hand. Oh, weird. That's a lot of rocket monsters.
that's a very unlucky hand.
Wait, what you say? You say it's unlucky or lucky?
Unlucky.
Lucky, really?
No, unlucky.
Really? I feel like this is a very good hand though, because there is a very clearly line of plays where you can do a lot of different things. At least in my eyes.
I guess I'm thinking in the more pessimistic sense where, well, I forgot you also have Silver Rocket,
Well,
where
I
you only have one target for your tracer.
Oh yeah. Well, but fun fact, actually didn't. Well, even despite ignore the silver rocket, I didn't open any target for the tracer. Like you want a tracer out a recharger majority of the time anyway.
Right.
I played the silver because I really having an issue where silver. Well, first of all, silver. There are some people played for the purpose of crush against Winda. And there's also another case where I just really want another level 4 target for Tracer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because like if you open the charger, then your Tracer literally just turn into a Garnet. Has no effect anymore. And there's a lot of time where you feel like that.
I
Let me
think I
see.
usually, when that happens, I usually try to find a way to get to striker, add it back in a way, and pitch something.
You then use recharger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your Tracer will not be able to summon anything from the deck, or it's only summoning Synchron, which is still awkward. It can that way happen. Let me see what.
Gotcha.
This end it will be. This one. So let me see. This hand it will just be bring out chamber for one more interruption. Then now you see you have no rockets, no tuner on the board. So what you need to do is just turn this into a Pisty, use Pisty to re-access your rockets in the graveyard. Well, I think I'm doing this because I opened the Warlock Cigar Dragon. Let me see. The next one, next play. Also haven't used Boost Sector. Ooh, wait a second. Do you think to the... Can I do it later? Am I able to do this later? These two into this, pitch pop, some two back. Pop 8. No, I'll be. Oh, alright, this is a risky play, but I kind of have to do it. Well, first of all, I don't want to leave rockets on the board. Well, guard dragons. Grab Ravine. Ravine's not gonna be used yet. And make Hara pray for the best. Don't please don't mill my rocket recharger. Alright, alright. Damn, those are pretty good cards. Uh
That's pretty good.
that's some pretty good man. I think I'll grab white.
Wait.
And I don't even think I'm gonna search a router. Because I don't want to recharge in my hand. I don't oh wait, I have tracers. Okay. And here this is pretty much the setup. Um these two into quad. Quad pop itself, summon tracer, and summon synchron. Alright.
Are you discarding Ravine here?
Good question, I think.
Or would you say Ravine to dump a Seafert if you need follow up?
I feel like I'll probably dump tracer.
Okay.
Because let me see. There shouldn't be. Well, since I get Y, I don't even need to use Tracer, which is good. But I'm gonna revive Tracer back from the graveyard anyway. Ravine's okay because there's like a lot of cards you can top deck into it that make Ravine into Levy alive. Synchron is just better normal summon than Tracer. Well, there's another thought. If you really fear Dark Ruler, you can even pitch Tiding. You give up a negate, but in the exchange, if you put a Dark Ruler, you chain Tiding in the graveyard, then chain Harat on the Dark Ruler. So there's still a couple. I think I will probably pitch Tracer. Then revive Tracer and Synchron. This is a Harad. And I'm gonna let me see. I have a chaos space. I'm gonna banish. Oh, I have a couple choices. Alright, I'm gonna banish something. I'm gonna chaos space it back. Will it be LP or be Pisty? I think it'll be LP here. Yeah, banish LP. Um two of them sync into Savage. Savage and White and Savage equip ROM. Just not, these are not needed. Use Chaos Space, put LP back. Nice, perfect draw. Yeah, this is how that opening ended with Spear Savage, Hard Red, Tiding Ash.
How have you liked Ash in this format?
Well, so let me break down. So, uh, for the Dragon deck, this is technically the non-engines I choose, right, for the format.
Okay.
Um, I guess we'll just talk about all of them in general. Dark Ruler just need a kind of going second for everything you kind of need to face going second. Ash is like the only thing that you can really lose to is your opponent resolving Shadow Fusion, because then they have like as many resources as you pretty much after Shadow Fusion resolve. So Ash is like the only thing that can stop that. Yeah, and also if you are able to Ash the Shadow Fusion, you can save your onboard negates for even more threatening things, which is good. Cosmic on the other hand is like there are a decent amount of things going second that uh you can cosmic and actually essentially win the game. Things like against well let's just break down everything you can see going second. Against dragons, you can obviously cosmic their tiding. They might have an Octavision there, but if they don't, then you get rid of the tiding or you force out either of the negates, which is never a bad thing. Um, Against Jadar, you can just cosmic chain to the schism, or if they only have schism, you can just cosmic the draw phase, and that pretty much just almost win you the game halfway there already because you'll never get schism anymore. Then what is it? Prankets, they have their fusion spell says main phase only, I think. Prank die. Prankets, Pandemonium is doing the main phase. So if that's the only set they have, it's the spell. You can just cosmic their fusion spell in the draw phase, so you'll never face the issue of getting bullered. For this turn at least, which is essentially almost all the entire game for like or turn two, right? For the if you play dragons, and if they have multiple back row, you can that means they have a decent chance flipping there can be only one against you, which is hurt a lot because it's the dragon deck. Cosmic can guarantee remove it pretty much, so that's another good thing. I mean that's already covered the top three of the format, right?
Yeah.
And even you drew a cosmic going first. Yes, it's not your combo piece. But think about it. When you are going first, you every deck you facing pretty much has a fill spell, and they all kind of essential. You cosmic your boost sector. That's a big hit. Ravine is arguably even a possible hit if depends on what they pitch usually. Um, Shadar has Meltdown, which if you Cosmic Meltdown, you get rid of both the Meltdown and a potential Alistair. And the fact Meltdown is gone means you are able to use Savage to negate Shadar Fusion or other fusion play spell. Uh, and against Prankis, they also have their field spell to get another monster, which usually. Wait, no. Well, usually getting rid of the fill spell is not that matter to a Prankit side because they usually have the monster already. But the big side for you is like getting rid of the fill spell means they will no longer be able to chain block in their turn as much as they wanted to. So they were forced to trade like one of the effect for one of your negates. Yeah, also forgot to say about Ash. Ash on one of the Prankets is pretty much just could be game breaking for them. So this is the non-engine parts like I would like to choose. Even for my Rusty version, it's Ash, Droplet, and Cosmic. Ash are the same reason. It's still a hand trap that covers the most. A Droplet is the same as Dark Ruler majority of the time. It just which one you really prefer, honestly. Then Cosmic, as I said earlier, I did tossing another Phantasm for the purpose just I want to search Whisper Tour.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the non-engine part for the format. Like I feel at the end, it's if I play any deck, I think the first cards I will tossing will be like three Ash, 2/2/3 Cosmic plus either three Dark or three Droplet, and that looks like a good non-engine base for at least the current format.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been playing a build more with three Phantasme just to try to dig for Dark Ruler.
Yeah, I do like the idea, but I also just see I was always a Phantasme fan until 3T exists now. Because you Phantaz into opponent 3T you is it's a very horrible feeling.
Yeah.
And other thing is like um, oh, forgot to say about Ash. Usually, when your opponent is a dragon, or usually when your opponent playing against you, when you playing dragon, they will be trying to hold the Phantasm until you have like three link monster trying to resolve LP, right? So they're gonna resolve
Right.
a draw four shuffle by three, and this is like an ashable Phantasm at this point. Because if you ash it, you threw a card from your hand, which you don't need it for your combo, but they have a Death Phantasm over there, and they couldn't like reshuffle their hands. Because draw, like if they only do like a draw two, shuffle one, it sometimes you can just ignore it because it's not that much. If they do a draw four, shuffle by three, there's a very high chance they see another hand trap. So you can just pretty much ash the Phantasm. They keep the Phantasm in hand, which is probably be dead for at least two turns, and they no longer able to readjust their hand or farm for more hand traps.
I never thought of it
Yeah.
that way. That's really interesting. Same with the Cosmic, the main. I guess I'm really bad with deciding on tech choices sometimes. Same with sighting. I'm not the best at sighting.
Yeah. So like at least for well, for pretty much every deck in the game right now, there's usually your engine plus your non-engines. If you play a combo deck, your engine is usually like very big, up to probably 30 for a dry trunk can even be 35 cards. And if you play like a control deck, your engine is usually relatively small, and you will just fill the rest of your deck with like a lot of hand traps, real traps, and probably some pots to make sure you draw as many of them as you can, things like those. So that's like usually when you build a deck, um, just figure out like the right amount of your combo, your engine, and pick the right choice for the non-engine part according to the format. That's like the easier way to really understand the concept. And for the engine part, it's pretty much based on how much you know about the deck. For the non-engine part, it's like just how much you know about the format. That's pretty
Makes
much
sense.
the idea.
Let's see. How often do you go into Scarlight?
Well, I build all my deck based on, well, because like I said earlier, I'm
Real
playing
life?
all, yeah, all the real life tournaments, so it's just always there. Because think about it, like you don't have to play Scarlight, but for that one match that you could just won in game three, but you end up not having it cause a draw, this could technically just knock you out of top eight, or sometimes be like that.
True. Time
And
proceedings are a pain.
yeah, and despite yes, you are playing a combo deck. Sometimes you actually have to play a little bit slower, try to play around or play into different hand traps in awkward situation. Also, you have to think a lot when you're going second, trying to combo at the same time breaking boards, which And like now it's probably not an issue, but back then when I just started playing the deck, everyone's asking what all my cards do. So literally they've been reading my cards longer than longer than I actually play my cards. And that's also a reason why it always going to time for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of a question that I've never really come up in playing Dragon Link at all. When
Hmm.
do you use needle fiber or Hulk, I guess?
In my Rusty version, I don't because I will never need to. In this version, I should say this way. So in my Rusty version, whenever I combo, I use my Tracer effect at the very beginning. So I'll have enough monster. Due to the fact, in order for you to combo, you usually need like 4 dragons on the board, right? A link to usually be spear pointing down, and the LP play and the striker forming arrows. Assuming you did not open Warlord Guard Dragon. That's usually because you need 4 monster to do that. In this version, since you are usually not able to tracer at the beginning, you prefer not to, really. You want to save the tracer at the end for as long as you can to use tracer as like a 1 card level async or something. Instead of using it to provide link material. Therefore, um you will have situation where you don't even open enough monster to do the combo. Um, if you don't open War Lexi Guard Dragon, because War Lexi Guard Dragon make you combo with only 3 monsters. But usually, if you don't open that card, you having issue going to into 4 dragons on the board if you want to put spear on the top. And this is why fiber comes in, because fiber itself is like 2 monster into the third one, right? And at this point, if you open like three monster, you probably can't even resolve LP unless you go into fiber, and that's when people use fiber. Like if you can, you obviously want to put spear on the top in case Nibiru happens. But if you just can't even combo after spear, why don't you just go into fiber and say, "Well, my opponent better have it."
Makes sense. It's just like the old Maxi challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just nib challenge.
Like that. It just there are because how the deck putting negates on the board right now. Sometimes you really just short monsters. Like I can maybe see if I can randomize into. This is a brick. Uh, this is non-needed five because this is two. Wait a second. Yeah, this might be and let's see if I draw anything. If I don't draw anything, oh, ooh, I draw safer. Yeah, I drew a safer. That's gonna
Wow.
change a lot. Does it change a lot? Actually, do I have anything to grab? If I go into, uh, oh wait, I still have white.
Yeah, I guess you could use safer for dragon or rocket in hand.
Yeah, I'm probably have to. See, due to the fact I started with space plus Y, I won't be able to have another additional baby at the end because I already used it. So let me see. This is technically 4 dragons because you can have striker Y into sphere. Then safer is another dragon. Quick launch is another dragon. Even when you activate safer, grab like tracer, then you boot it out. It's the same amount of monsters. However, assume we just never drew the safer. It's like, for example, it's like an ash. Then you'll realize you don't have 3 monsters. You can't really do anything, right?
Right.
So here you're just forced to like, for example, quick launch out a tracer, then use tracer and striker into fiber. Use fiber to get your synchron, and that's how you end with having enough monster to even do anything. Because otherwise, your hands will be spear pass, which sometimes is not the worst choice, but sometimes people just don't feel like doing it. Now you are able to do things because the rest of the hands are pretty garbage. Assume we did not we draw something like not usable instead of the safer. And because you put fiber on the top, you won't be able to go into sphere afterwards. This is also why people have this Appaloosa. So what do we have tiding? Let's see what why summon here, honestly. Brotor? Brotor seems like a good one. And then let's see, so I need to kill this, add have boost, so probably adding trace of that better. And Pisty into this. Pisty back a rocket. Has I think I prefer to be yeah, I prefer. And then two Guard Dragon into Rom grab Ravine, and the two Link 2 into Appaloosa on the top. Well, mainly because you have no way to put Sphere on the top at that point. So, and you don't want to obviously you don't want to leave the fiber there. So might as well just
Yeah.
go into an Appaloosa after you can. And here I think I can still do a lot. Let me see. This can boot out. There's a tidings. I don't even need a chamber. What I do here is quad get pop itself, get 4 and 1. Have a normal sum? I have not normal sum
Yeah,
yet.
if not.
Ooh, that probably gonna change a lot. Okay. Ravine effect. Well, assume this is like an Ash or something. Useless. Pitch it.
Yeah.
Send router effect. Get another synchron. Yeah, this is the play. Normal synchron effect.
Grab router.
Then this going to ruler.
Do you typically try to go ruler before you go savage?
Uh, well, because this hand, I know I can go into both. That's why.
Okay.
I guess here we can grab the safer. Assume we never had it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess in fork tree decisions like that, I always try to go savage first. And then if I have the opportunity to go
Yeah, I think.
magical ruler,
Yeah,
I make it.
I think I know this hand. I can go ruler first. Then I will make ruler savage together. Well, I make hard red savage.
Yeah.
So Lovey, this is useless. This is useless, and I'll banish synchron. Yeah, I have one of you. So rip one. Um, these two can turn into this. You have a light. Um, oh wait, no, that's the fake safer. That's a useless one. Do I even need boost sector at this point? Probably not. I don't think so. Cause we're gonna
No, because Club World meets all your needs. I
yeah.
guess you could hold it for
Actually,
follow-up play if they break your board.
I'm probably pitching the safer instead, due to the fact this is not the real safer, and me pitching the safer can add back the levy straight,
Hmm.
which is not bad. So I think I'm gonna do that. Quad pitch the safer, pop itself, revive tracer and synchron, and then this is hard and this gonna pop the ravine into charger and into savage. Equip fiber and set tiding, use safer to add back levy. And I think we also made another chaos space, right? Yeah, we made another copy of chaos space with ruler. So yeah, this is the turn one board with the opening we had. Pretty good.
Would you just bounce Appaloosa, I'm guessing?
Bounce off
Or
loser.
no, that's not dragon, sorry. What would you bounce with tidying?
Oh, good question. Hmm. Let me think. Actually, what did we pitch off Ravine? We pitched Dark Ruler, right?
Seifert, the fake Seifert, right? Oh yeah, we did do Dark Ruler.
For of quad. No wait, no, we did. Oh, I think
Seaford
we
was
have,
Quad
yeah.
Coral, and then Ravine was Dark Ruler.
So one thing we can do is instead of pitching the Dark Ruler, we pitch the Tiding to. Oh, no, we don't have Team Ranger. Yeah, good question. What would I bounce a power at? I think I'll probably use Savage first and bounce by the Savage. Because Savage is much easier to make it to make again.
That's true. It's generic.
Especially also because I have a second level for Target for Tracer. It's like much easier to make. I mean, worst case, I'll probably just like leave Levy on the field and well, I might just bring this back and bounce back this. We could banish and I have a chaos space to put it back anyway. Yeah.
I guess that really mattered on what we milled
Mm-hmm.
there from Chaos Ruler.
Yeah. Usually it don't. Yeah, usually it doesn't. Because you should have enough. Chaos Ruler, like when I'm trying to play the deck, when I'm trying to feel it, I would just try to assume Chaos Ruler in the middle of nothing. Because that's the better way to think about it. If you're
Okay.
relying if you're relying a little bit too much on it, it sometimes gets bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I guess hypothetical of game two. I know it's a little off topic.
Hmm.
Game two, would you put your hot red and savage still in attack mode, knowing that people are gonna probably
Um.
try to sidestep?
Yeah, probably not, because Lightning Storm is picking up popularity based on the past couple weeks. I think I'll just leave everything defense.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing prank kids main it, which is weird.
Yeah, game one I'll probably still putting attack because I don't see too many people maining the card. And but game two and three, yeah, I think I'll put everything defense.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I think I also noticed something just from you showing hands. I think I've been building LB striker wrong, which is weird. I think I've been too many times I've been repeatedly putting LB on the inside instead of striker. And I
Ah, this usually don't matter unless someone is playing ogre, because then
okay,
they can ogre the LP and you don't have arrows anymore. But if you put LP outside, then well, if they ogre the LP, you still have striker and either the sphere or fiber to link to for the arrows. So LP will still resolve you despite he's gone on the field because the arrow the zone's still there.
right.
And I think majority of people who ever playing this will usually combo on the left side. So if somehow their Pesty survive, the Pesty won't be pointing to the graveyard or still on the field pointing a possible zone to get played. But when I play the Rusty version, I usually put on the other side and I just get used to it. Also, whenever I'm trying to play, I usually try to link away all the dragons, all the guard dragons as much as I can. I feel like leaving guard dragons on the board just feels wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes sense because your strikers always have utility,
Yeah.
and even quad moral.
Mm-hmm. Like if Shrekker leaving on field, that means you have a free monster reborn next turn as long as Recharger's in your graveyard.
Right. Do you so outside of just using the silver rock as an extra body, do you ever trigger it somehow? With
Almost never in this build. Because the only thing that can trigger it is you Striker popping it, which is nagging pretty hard. Because at that point, since Striker doesn't even pop, you can't even add the thing back from the graveyard, so it's not really worth. Or you go into your Borosaur target it, which yeah, I think at that point your opponent's dead.
yeah, I don't
Unless
think you have to summon Boral Sword without going for game, right?
if you have Borosaur the silver, this is already 79 at least on the board. It's like yeah, you can probably resolve this, but your opponent probably be dead at the same time. And the other really, I mean, I look now probably not, but back then when I just played the deck, I've seen people unicorn my rockets. So Yeah, that's a way to trigger it if your opponent want to cooperate with you. But I think now a year after, it's probably not happening.
I don't know. I think people forget
Maybe
the inherent rocker
yeah,
effects, though.
maybe at local levels this can still happen, but realistically it shouldn't.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I've had people be like, let me see what happens. So it's like they made an IP, and I go normal summon Magna Rocket enter battle phase. They go, oh cool, IP effect into Unicorn target my Magna Rocket. I was like, cool Magna effect. Then I just boot it back like then I go back to main phase and boot everything back from the graveyard.
So I guess from a medical, with your Rusty deck, what
Mm-hmm.
are the advantages you've noticed over the more freestyle version with chambers?
See, my the Rocket Rusty version is has fixed combos. It's like Rocket Router is already full combo without anything else. And for every so you can think Rocket Router, for example, Silver plus Router is full combo and you open both. For every additional extender like Quick Launch, Chaos Space, World Exi Guard Dragon, those just gonna trade off your opponent's hand trap. So
Okay.
like despite my opponent can be having like I can open Rocket Router, they having two hand traps, but as long as I have like quick control with the guard dragon, it's the same because it's like 1+1+1+1 and -2. So you still introduce two, that's full combo. And that's usually how I see it. And my turn one board is much more aggressive and lose to less things in my opinion. Because I go through their extra deck, so I won't never have super poly problems. Um, what else? I've
Unless
slightly.
it's like Guru or something and they
Oh
just
yeah, I
want to,
mean at that point doesn't matter which dragon version you are playing.
right?
And yeah, also I technically just put out more negates on the board, so I have a slightly higher chance winning. Because I do seen a lot of people just crack the tidings board, which definitely happens a lot. Oh, not this one. But but the thing is, this tiding version relying a lot on turn three using like tiding, bring back chamber, and you bring back chaos ruler. So it's like they still winning because they have more things that can revive in the graveyard. However, my version, this one, I still do, but I just don't even need it because my turn one board is probably already enough to win. That's probably the
So
difference.
would you say that helps you also with time then,
Yes.
since your combos are a lot more linear?
Yeah. Well, also I haven't seen too many people playing this version. When I played it, I already like when I draw an opening hand, I know what kind of ending board it is. So I really don't even have to waste time to think anything.
Yeah, you just know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, because I've been playing this for more than a year straight already.
Totally get it. I mean, I think everyone has that deck somewhere in their Yugi life where they've played it a billion times and they just know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just second nature. You just see your hand, you go, I know I win, or I know I'm good
Pretty much.
here. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, by the way,
So
forgot to say the chat. Thanks for everyone for following and if someone subbed. I actually just forgot to mention it. Thanks for the sub. And yeah, keep going. What are you trying to
talking about
ask?
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, let's see. I just think I always feel bad because everyone just immediately assumes you're only Dragon Link videos after your last two videos, even though they're non-Dragon Link. I think I saw a lot of comments where people are like, "This isn't Dragon Link. She's only allowed to play dragons."
See, I at the beginning, when I started channel, I just want to make it into like a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh channel. However, the whole time Dragon were just, if not the best, at least one of the best. So I've just been posting the Dragon videos much more than everything else.
I mean, that's fair. That I mean, LP's still around.
Yeah, I'll be still
And
around.
I don't know why. I'm guessing to sell the Dragoonity stuff.
Like
That's the only thing I can think of.
the very few time when Dragon wasn't the best, I wasn't playing because I just hate VFDs, double VFDs. So it's like,
Well, you're making crazy like Red Eyes Dragoon, Eldritch decks, and
I mean, during the summer, I
it,
did switch to Infernoble just for contents, and I did do
oh,
well
that
with
too.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a
Well,
decent
I
amount
mean,
of.
you're getting really creative there for a little while,
Yeah.
where you're just going complete. I think you're bored, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But
Like next format is actually a couple new different decks, I think. Well, none after next set because I think
Tritron Overlords.
like Tri Brigade got this, so the Tri Brigade gonna be seeing much more. Despite it's already seen some, like I covered in the video. Drytron, I've talked about it. It's another video, and
Have you gotten over the scrap combo?
uh,
Because that's going to expand with the Raptor, right?
Raptor is cool, but Recycler is just still Recycler. It's like you get more copies of Recycler, but that doesn't make the how do I say it? It's like ultimately you're doing the same thing as before, just doing it a little bit more consistent.
That's true.
And I don't even think the consistency was the issue about this combo. It was like how you defend yourself from hand traps and everything. That's the ultimate issue.
That's true.
So I still without Herb, there's like not enough ending board things. It's like if you want to have a lot of ending board negates, you make a very glass cannon with a lot of bricks in the deck. But if you want to make it like consistent and good, then the current card pool just doesn't support it, and the Raptor doesn't solve that problem.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think it was what Scrap Orcus in the OCG,
yeah,
where they still
that's
have
the thing.
Harp was
Hmm.
still kind of not glass cannon.
Well, yeah, but that's like everything's at one for that deck. Gearsu's a
Right.
one, Harper's a one, Galatea's a one. Orcus. Yeah, Gearsu's a one, Harper a one, Galatea's a one. It's like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
playing just a Highlander deck with all your good cards. Let me see what I've actually like. Well, spoiler alert for whoever waiting for the new videos. Recently I've been working on this one.
Oh, Adignister.
Yeah, this is a fun one because we do get a couple new cards. We got like what a main deck monster, an extra deck monster, and a couple spells, right? A Rhoda and well, I think this one's useless. Yeah, the trap is also useless. So yeah, it's like I've been. That's actually the topic for the next video. But the combo is a little more complicated due to the fact no one really on the deck. So I that's probably gonna be out next week, I think.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem, right? With some of the online format, people
Yeah.
aren't branching out as much. They just see, oh, what happened in luxury or a PPG,
Hmm.
and just kind of net deck and then play it, right?
Yeah. Also, yeah, there's no heat, so that's a big issue.
Oh, that too.
That's a very big issue.
I guess code talkers have been waiting for that as well.
I mean, every cyber stack is waiting for that. Pretty much. Because I've seen a couple YouTuber or streamer were trying to figure out the code talker deck. Like Coder was on there. I think I saw Gabe. I think he's still streaming about it, right? Gabe was on code talker earlier today, and yeah, Gabe is still. Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Gabe is still streaming it.
I haven't watched Gabe in a while.
Yeah, he's been doing fine, except the fact he probably should shave.
I mean, lockdown does things to people, right?
I also need a haircut for a while.
Eh.
Yeah, because run.
Everything's remote.
Yeah, Code Talker is a U-Link. That's completely different than Code Talker in OCG. Code Talker in OCG is definitely not a U-Link deck. It's more a trap deck. It's more like a salad, but better.
I mean, heck, you can technically, I guess, play salad cards in any cybers.
You do.
I mean, is OCG trap code talker
Mm,
just pretty much same thing, just kind of grind and consist or grind out resources really,
mm. I
and then
think
eventually make a big push.
week before it was actually made to the top three in the pie chart, but that's coming. The past week actually fall down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for a new meta game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we've definitely kind of hit that, it's not really all that different from 2018,
Hmm. The
2019.
the main issue we have right now is not about like old cards being broken. I mean, yes, old cards are broken, but the main issue is we haven't got broken new cards for half year, almost.
Yeah.
The last broken cards are what, the VW and Drytrons, which are what, December last year, and it's already May. Like Blazing Vortex has nothing. It give out pot, which is good, but pot is not an archetype. It's like a thing for everything. So there are no new strategy. Um, what what's other Ghost from Past has Dragoonie cards, but Dragoonie cards and it's being just completely flawed. So
Yeah.
that was not being used. That was not very useful. And what's the other thing? Oh, and Ancient Guardians. Good dueling set. Oh, I'm looking forward to see the reptile and the synchro main to duel links in like the next coming year. And the sad part is those cards, even in duel links, is probably not gonna be that well. Okay,
But
some
I mean, it's kind of like the theory of like
yeah.
where people are like, oh, rekindling is gonna make fire broken eventually, just like Snake Rain, right?
Well, Snake Range is one of the biggest jokes like in the recent years. Let me see. Someone's asking, what about Orcus knowledge? I don't like the deck. I don't really think there's too much synergy in it. It's like,
Well, it's
oh,
dark and light for
uh,
one.
I mean, uh, it's pretty much your turn. You play Orcus, not your opponent's turn. Play Knowledge, right? Like that's it. I mean, it sounds like a okay deck. Uh, well, how should I say this? Ah, all right, cool. It's like normally people eat fries with ketchup, right? So we can just assume fries and ketchup be like Eldritch and Zoo, for example, a typical standard a pair. One day someone goes, "Hey, let's dip fries into barbecue sauce," and which is just turned into Eldritch and the Orcus, and still works. But will majority of people switch from ketchup to barbecue? Probably not. But no one's against the idea of doing it. That's pretty much that. It's there, but it's just there.
I've seen the list, but I haven't looked at it in depth. I would think that you'd run into some consistency issues.
I just feel like there really isn't too much synergy in between. That's it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Thinking new cards taking way too long to join TCG. That's true. Well, also the past couple big sets are also just garbage cards, so that's the bigger issue, I think. Some new card OCG also has a lot of shit promos.
Hmm. Well, and they have crossout designator too. That's the other big thing.
Oh, they also have Maxi. That's why they have cross. I think for that part's balanced.
Right. But I mean, that allows them to change their deck building. I mean, you just can what put 4 hand traps in and 3 crossout designator.
Yeah. I mean, crossout is pretty much like. I think I have a list. I have a list of
I mean,
hand
because that
chart.
allows you to go to what 7 instead of having to main 9.
You mean anti Maxi cards?
Yeah.
It stay around like A right now because it used to be only two Ash, three call by, and they released Designator. But then I think they released Ash, and the list after they put call by to two. So you only have 8 cards in the game maxi, which is still a lot. Like the chance of a
Yep.
single maxi resolving without anything try to help it is only like 10% going second, I think, in OCG. Which I mean,
Yeah.
they have their format, they have their theories.
Yeah. That's the only thing that makes me sad with the OCG is
Hmm.
they give too many people in the TCG an idea, and then I think our meta gets solved too quick, so we kind of lose a little bit of the mystery.
Depends, because think about it. This current actually for the past while, I think we are actually ahead of OCG in terms of decks. Very awkwardly. Um, you see, let me think. What are the examples? Like last, well, no, not last year. The year before, Danger Thunder, Danger or TCG exclusive, so we're ahead. And um, other things. I think all the Eldritch variants, we are I think surprisingly ahead of OCG because OCG were more on like the Stun version and yeah. And well, I think the recent year, I think that was like a trend for a year before, like 18, 19. But now it's like because the card pool is just so different, and like Konami's making more and more cards based on assuming Maxi exists in OCG. Therefore, when those cards landed here without Maxi, it just started being way too unbalanced, and a lot of OCG things just doesn't even apply here. Um, for example, Block Dragon still at three, completely fine OCG, which the deck was not even being played. Even it is being played, it's like a very weak lower tier two deck, despite Block is at three, just because Maxi exists. And because Maxi exists, you have to play Crossout called by Ash and at least one copy of Maxi for your Crossout. That's like another 10 cards away from your Rock deck. And because of that, your Researcher Secret Analyzer usually don't mill anything because you don't even have those random rocks. The only random rocks in your deck are like probably just Guardians. That's it, probably. And then you will see the Rock deck just really fall apart hard if none of the researchers secret analyze are going to mirror anything, which is also a very interesting thing to think about it. Like just how Maxi really changing one single deck in two sides of the earth.
Yeah. I I feel like you're kind of dipping into that Pandora's box where we've been seeing that like on Zodiac where everyone's been talking about unban Maxi
It's
or
it's
ban
always like
window.
that. It's always like that. See, I'm personally fine with Maxi being banned. I'm also fine with Maxi being out. Even at one, I think it's at least acceptable to me. It's probably not acceptable to a lot of people. But I really just want to see Maxi coming back to punish all the bad deck builders, where they just play their single player deck entering a tournament and they want dice roll. They think they're very good. I just want Maxi to exist to punish those guys.
Yeah, I was definitely asking for Maxi back when Dark Ruler was
Yeah,
around. I
yeah,
mean, we didn't have Nib or Dark Ruler no more at those times, but I
yeah.
mean, Gumblar would have milled them anyways, so. But yeah, I never thought about that way. I guess Maxi is a good way to really punish people for bad
Hmm.
deck building.
Yeah. Because that beginning requirement is, I would say a little bit more than here due to Maxi existing.
How so?
Just because you have to just because you have less flexible spots in the deck majority of the time, due to you almost have to throw at least two or three copies of Maxi, and like just now you're looking at my PK list, right? There's already
Yep.
three Ash. You had to fit two more call by, three cross out, and either two or three copies of Maxi in the list. That's another 7 to 8 cards. And how's that even possible, honestly? Then you have to cut.
Yeah, that's
Then
true.
you have to cut all the other non-engine cards to make it even possible. Like I have to cut Fantaz, Droplet, well, not the Protector, Fantaz, Droplet, and Cosmic to make to fit. Well, it's a combo that so two Maxi is fine. You probably side a third one. Two Maxi, two call by. Oh no, call by is already here, and cross out. It's already 42 by just fitting these. And because like there's technically more hand traps existing in the format due to Maxi exists, you probably have to throw into like different targets for cross sell. So for example, one imperm, one ogre, one Vader, and a nib. And like these cards taking so many spacings or less.
Yeah, that's what, 13 non-engine cards?
Something like that. You could probably arguably even cut the ogre, just have Nib Vader and Perm with the us cross out targets. And this is already making my deck 45 with the same amount of engine cards I have. So therefore, even in OCG combo decks, you can't really have your engine be more than 25 because you will just not be able to stay like 40 to 42 range. Like I think I would just be what I'll force to probably cut these and probably even cut something else to make it 42. 42 is still acceptable because 40 to 42 mathematically doesn't affect it that much. But once you go 43 and beyond, it's gonna be a big difference compared to 40.
I've always heard like you want to stay closer to what, multiples of 5.
Uh, I mean, ideally you want to stay as few as you can. So the 39 theory. So you get to draw your key card, like your strongest cards was the highest chance. However, Upstart itself shouldn't be played in a draw format. That's rule number one. And so I mean, ideally you want to get it to 40, right? But sometimes 40 is just not
Right.
possible. I personally hate 41 because I will not know how many pile I should pile shuffle. So that's why I'll go with 42. 42 is fine. Like the power of five is only like if you got well doing an opening hand that way. It's not much difference.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how I usually make my piles. But
42
I know exactly what you mean by the one. Or
41 is
the only.
like that's a prime number. How many piles should pile shuffle?
It's true. I don't know. I used to have a friend that would cut people's decks that way.
Yeah.
You'd just cut one or three
Mm-hmm.
off the top and then put it
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay, so you got any other question about any decks, honestly? Because I
Uh,
do prepare it a lot for in the incoming format at least.
yeah. Um, I guess my biggest thing is figuring out with combo decks your mentality going second, especially if it's, like a game two where they're gonna try to set up the window, and
Yeah,
have maybe like punishment set. Do you try to bait the
yeah.
punishment and lock them out of their deck so they don't kill you?
See, the answer is very, very stupid and simple. It just pray for the best. If you go in second against those decks that are gonna floodgate you or the hand trap or the combo decks, all you can do is just pray you draw the non-agent cards. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yeah, but on the other hand, the thing you can well, those are pretty much the thing you almost have no control on it. The thing you can control is like well, obviously you are praying to draw the non-engine cards, but then on the other side, you really when you deck building, you really have to choose the most effective non-engine cards to play. So at least when you draw it, it's useful.
Right. Hold on, I was just looking at something in chat.
Hmm.
They're saying that's not very healthy, but here's the thing. You don't really notice it in other games because the games are usually a lot longer and protracted. But say like if you have like a Hearthstone where your opening really matters and you don't realize you've already lost that game based off that opening,
Hmm.
you just don't see it as quickly as you do with Yu-Gi-Oh because Yu-Gi-Oh is so fast.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's also because we are in a fast format. Like in some matchups, the past years, since you're able to play into it, like Sala Orcus, where opening hands matters, but don't matter as much as now, where the game only lasts for 3 5 turns.
Right.
But this
Let's
is
see.
only the mentality for if you play a combo deck. For trap deck, it's a different story, pretty much.
Chat, but see,
What
this
the
stream
hell?
definitely made me decide I definitely want to play this weekend with combo, just because that's always been comfortable for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Whenever I've played,
if the tournament is that soon, you always want to play something you're more familiar with.
yeah, that and combo or control, like any control, like Guru, Eldritch, Shaddoll, Dogmatic Invoked. I should just say any Alistair deck really.
Pretty much, right?
Um, I feel like it turns too much into trap trapdoor Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Or you
Hmm.
face that temptation. I mean, yes, there's good nuanced play. I'm not saying by any means control players don't
Yeah.
think the plays through, but I think the incentive to just chain something to
Hmm.
someone for no reason is there, and then some people get rewarded playing bad like that.
Yeah. Trap decks are, or control decks are in general. How to describe it? Like, I like those control decks where you actually have synergy between different kind of things, where it's not literally just Zoo plus Lich equals Zoo Lich. Brr. Like the one I had, like the only control that I really have saved for a while is this one that you're looking at. It's the Eldritch Invoke Dragoon.
Yeah,
So
I've played a local with this. This
yeah,
was fun.
this is like a very good local deck if I want to have a fun for like a day or something, because you can go Alistair plus Souls, Alistair plus Fleur, Alistair plus Corbin, or even Alistair plus Lord. Those all end you Jagumakaba. And
Yeah, that's pretty good.
you are controlling, but you are actually doing a lot with like in in the combination of all your like one or two engines together. Those are different kind of that's why I'm like really like this stack. It just unfortunately it's not that good because it really have tight spaces and doesn't have that
Hmm.
many non engine spa to fit like crazy tons of hand traps to for the combo decks.
Yeah. Well,
Also has brick issue. Also has brick issue.
yeah, that's true. I did like the Magicalized Fusion.
Hmm.
That was always funny.
Yeah.
People never see that with the second Anaconda. I think they usually think you're just trying to go for like Shaddoll Fusion or like a Super Poly or something.
Be like that. Ooh. Alright. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I'll just send a pair of Eldritch. Not terrible. These two going to Anaconda. Oh, the other issue is like Dragoon, even Dragoon Makaba, it's not that particularly good in the current format. Uh, Normal summon a Zoo, make a 6 material Zoo, swipe your board.
Ain't that the truth?
But indeed, it's a very fun local deck, and I did have fun with it before. Need to get Sanguine, cool.
I think I like the combo you can do with the Alistair Link monster.
That's only the combo I do when I kill people turn 3. Like turn 1, I'll just be like Dragoon Makaba.
Right.
See, this is
Well,
this
and
is
just Dragoon Makaba live.
yeah. I mean, the Makaba is not even real here in this board because, like, I don't even have that many hens to pitch that want to. Like, the Makaba is here just a fake interruption. I prefer not even use the Makaba. Yeah, you can trade the Makaba. I don't even care.
Yeah.
When do I go for the Alistair Link? Whenever I go in second, I kill people because you can go. I'll just let's for example pass turn here. I don't even want to activate Golden Lord. Probably yes. I'll just keep the rest. Turn 3, you can do something be like make an Alistair link. Um, well, assume this already got pitched from to negate last turn. Um, so fusion summon. Fuck the Lord. Used Alistair link to pitch at this back. Then go. What was the case here? It was I don't have another Alistair in the grave here, so I don't even have that many extra fusion monsters, I think. Whatever. I think what I would do here is 1, 2. Alright. I definitely used the last turn, so ignore that. Didn't see this coming, huh? So pretty much just use Alistair's and Alistair Link to increase. Use the Alistair Link actually increasing monster on your field to Link summon. Then Link climbing to Selling Axis with the Alistair Link, because that's a spellcaster. Do some fun things with that, just like everything. I
And I
mean,
just pop the board and
yeah,
push.
yeah, pretty much. Like if you really failed to push or something, there's always a second Anaconda to mail Magicalize for the second Dragoon. Yeah, it's a fun deck. It's something I actually do recommend people trying if it's a lower tier tournament.
Mhm.
No super poly, you can, but it does take a lot of space in nature deck.
Would you update this to put the Magistus engine and maybe IDPs in here?
Depends. I mean, I'm not that serious to bring this into like a real tournament, so I just don't even care.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Just more if you're just gonna try to update it for the current format.
In general, it's like that. Those doesn't even matter because those are like the non-engine cards of the deck, right?
Right.
Really, whatever you choose is based on your personal preference more, honestly. Like you can obviously switch dash into draws, switch the droplet into like a pair or a play set of real traps, and do things like that.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah, like really, if you look at a deck, you realize which part are the engines, which part are the non-engines, and for the non-engines, it don't even matter what they choose because ultimately it's just those kind of cards. Like the non-engine are you just hand traps, real traps, and some removal and negates. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm definitely that 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh players where we can't deck build for shit, especially in the TCG. Um,
It's
and
not
it's
that
more
hard.
like you just find a list, play it, and then change some things based on preference.
That's a good way to start. If you know yourself not good at deck building, then obviously find a list, copy it, get used to it. Then apply your understanding to it, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Hey man, Fleur's a good bait.
It feels
Can't tell
so
you how many
awkward
times.
having one. See, the point is the floor is only a sole target, and every other sole target, well, has to be a light, so you can Alistair souls into Makaba Dragoon. So this has to be a light. Every other light target, it's like a garnet, pretty much. Fleur is just the best one.
It's true. It's just like your Trickstar there too.
Fleur,
Gives
at
you
least you can
free
summon
body
it.
and light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, Dragoon conflicts hard with Ecclesia, no matter what version you're playing.
it's true.
Yeah, like in concept wise, Dogmatica Dragoon deck should be good, right? But then in practical, you realize, yeah, everything just conflicting each other. Like you can Dragoon after Ecclesia, you can Ecclesia after Dragoon, and yeah, it's just very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely always
Hmm.
that always comes up in deck building.
Yeah,
Sometimes you see that in tournaments where someone gets through with like anti-synergy and someone just goes, "Oh man, this is the new best deck," and it's more just RNG hit well
yeah,
one day.
yeah, it definitely can happen. If you want to learn some deck building, it's pretty much just figure out a number of your engine in the deck, then figure out the things, the non-engines, then work them together. Well, I guess you're using a real deck as an example, which is pretty better. If you look at, I think you are more familiar with the tiding version, right?
Yeah,
See, there are a lot of things where it's actually cuttable in extreme circumstance. Save the third safer is one. Third tracer is one. If you don't play a third tracer, then it will be the second router. Then it's the same spot. Even the second synchron is possible. Um, the black metal is definitely something you can also cut. It's just a starter and or thing you summon off sphere. Like these are the less important engine parts you have in the engine. Therefore, these are your primary cards to cut when you deck building it. Like for example, we are in a format where it requires. Let me see how many I play. I play 8 9 engine cards, right? We're in a format where you are required to play 12 hand traps. Actually, for some reason, if you still want to play the deck, then you will have to go. These are 8 9 engine cards. Ash, Dark Ruler, Cosmic. So these are 8 plus the four the relatively unnecessary engine cards, and those gonna be your 12 hand traps if that's the goal you're trying to achieve.
and then I guess what you just maybe look at the math on which one do you want to draw more than the others if you're doing
It's not even
12
the
or
it's not even the math. It's to the end. It's like the feeling. Like there's three safer, but um, like you can draw a lot of things that do the same thing safer. For example, Chaos Space is just a better safer sometimes. But obviously, if you draw both safer and Chaos Space, it's gonna be better. And you don't mind drawing safer. But the last copy of safer is definitely not as important as like the first two copies safer and Chaos Spaces. And this also applies to siding, where you usually can just side out, like going, for example, going second, you can definitely just side out black metal because that's just not that necessary compared to everything else.
right.
Yeah, like there's an easy like quote unquote cheating way to learn this. Is like you go through, for example, there's like a top 16 from LCS, right? You go through all top 16 lists, and you'll see like 2 3 dragons, 2 3 tidy version of Dragon Link playing, and you compare to the difference in their engines. For example, you see one guy playing 2 tracer, 2 router, 2 synchron, 1 recharger. And you see other guy play 3 tracer, 1 router, and you realize the third copy of either router or well, the third copy of either tracer or the second copy of router, that spot is actually not that important. Because there are people doing well with either or. And
Okay.
that could just be the copy you either switch it into a non-engine cards if you really need it, or that could be a spot where you sat out majority of the time.
Okay. And where do I guess where do the extenders come into that? Because I see a lot of people they usually vary on range with Noctivision, for example.
Nocto
Sometimes
is
you'll see
like,
one, sometimes you'll see three or two.
yeah, Nocto is like another card. It's like one of the hard once per turn extender, where you only want to see one of them. You never want to see three copies, right? You probably don't even
Right.
want to see two copies. And because of the nature of that, usually play two copy will be the most for a lot of the list because you don't want to see three. If you play three, the chance of you see two copies are actually quite decent high. But if you play two copies and you see a pair, that's like very extreme situations already. So that's like usually that's why usually like for example Nocto hard ones per turn can't even be normal sum and therefore can't even be used as a starter. So at that point, two copy is probably the most, and sometimes don't even need it. It's good to have, but it's not needed. And one copy is needed at least because you're gonna draw safer plus router, or even safer plus Fantaz for some other people who plays it. And that's why Nocto at the beginning of the format was like a three off mandatory in every list, and has a decreasing trend based on by the time it goes, because it just like you can do the same combo without it, and it still ends with the same thing. But if you fail to do combo, it mainly because there are two Nocto Vision contributing to my bricks in the hand.
Okay.
Yeah, and realistically, what's the difference between drawing a Noctovision and drawing a quick launch, right? This does you give you another draw, but this can you can start with quick launch. That's also why quick launch is so broken because it doesn't have a once per turn limit.
It's true.
Noctovision,
And it puts a body on board instead of searching it.
yeah. And Wall Lexi Gardrick, on the other hand, is a very tricky one. Like, if you see my PK version, I never play three Wall Lexi because I just hate this card. I
Yeah.
I honestly like every time I do well, I don't necessarily need a card, but every time I brick, this is at least one copy, if not two copies, are in my hand. It's like almost guaranteed. Like the biggest brick I've drawn was top A at the 3v3 YCS Las Vegas. My opening hand
Right.
one after run. It was a top A. My opening hand game one after winning dice roll with Black Dragon, Red Eyes, Boo Sector, Naruto Vision, Wolex Guard
Yeah, that's all your top end monsters.
Dragon. It's like, yeah, every single monster is half of my full combo, but those it's like it's like point 0.5 plus point 0.5 plus point 0.5 plus point 0.5 end with zero. That kind of a terrible feeling.
Well, there's no hand correction at
Yeah,
all.
because usually when I draw an opening hand, I'll do a math where it'd be like safer equals to two dragons, Tracer is two dragons, Chaos Space two dragons, Noctovision is a one dragon, things like those, right? Rockets are all one
Yeah.
dragons. But then if you do another calculation, it will be like safer by itself is full combo. So that's one full combo. Router plus silver was one full combo. Um, and for example, rocket plus vision is one full combo. Therefore, each of them are half of the full combo, right? That kind of logic.
Right.
This hand is like, yeah, black is half a full combo. Red eyes is half a full combo. Vision, router is a half a full combo. Guard dragon is half a full combo. They all 50%. But when you add them together, no, you didn't get 200%. You get 0% because they break together.
It's because they're all cards that depend on something else.
Yeah,
It's like having a hand of what, Witch's Strike or something.
yeah, something like that. It's very horrible.
Right.
So that's the one particular reason I just don't like Wolexi Guard Dragon. However, in this version, why I still play three Wolexi because it just based on how the deck plays, you just really need the moving effect very awkwardly.
Yeah,
Like,
there are too many times where like I never go into Pisty
mm-hmm.
because it's too awkward or don't have the resources to do it.
Yeah, there's also a lot of time where you either or situation. There's a lot of time where you only open three dragons, so therefore you can't really do combo. And for example, you open like what? Uh, Tracer, Silver plus Noctovision, right? That's a
Yeah.
pretty good combination of the cards. However, if you don't use Tracer effect, you can combo. If you go into Fiber, you putting yourself in a higher risk of being hand trapped. And this was why Guard Dragon just be very important in this version, because if you open Tracer, Silver plus Lawless Guard Dragon, you can full combo while still plus Sphere on the top. Well, you can at least resolve LP, which is almost full combo. And at this point, Warless Guard Dragon be like, it doesn't provide only one dragon, it actually provide one and a half. This is like one of those few cards per 1.5 copy of monster. Because
And that's only counting the
yeah, counting the
LP
mon-
interaction, right?
yeah, counting the. So like I said earlier, like whenever I do Safer, there's two dragons, right? Because Safer into black and white.
Yeah.
So does Chaos Space. And Warlexy Guardian is one of those few cards where it has half monster in it. Warlexy Guardian by itself is 1.5 dragon. Because it revive one, so it self turn into a dragon. Then you move an LP, so you resolve LP with one less dragon. That actually gives you like equivalent to another half dragon. Because ultimately you still one dragon less, but you get to resolve the combo with one less monster. There's pros and cons. It's like a weird card, but it has the irreplaceable aspects in this version. Therefore, that's why the spy is still held a fucking hell breaking card. You just have to play three in this version.
Yeah, especially since you're also, playing
Mm,
Cosmic Cyclone, Dark
yeah.
Ruler,
Mm,
Ash.
mm. And I can't even. I like this is also why I don't even play three in this version because I simply don't need it. Every time I combo, it's pretty much always enough monsters. I never need to use the remove effect. At this point, this is just like a worse monster reborn that has a chance to brick. Well, it's not worse
Yeah.
monster. It's like as good as only a monster reborn, but has a chance to brick. And why would I choose this over any other like starter card?
So I'm not super familiar with this.
Mm-hmm.
What's the reasoning with the double absolute router in
And
your?
this one.
Are you trying to guarantee a dump or maybe have it in hand as special?
So the importance of accessing Tracer in this list is much more than this one.
Okay.
So like you ideally kind of need to start Tracer with it to get your combo going because you want to resolve Tracer before even LP. You want to use Tracer to get enough monster to LP. And Route 2 Router is like Router is cuttable to one, like that's almost a guarantee side out going second. But Router just combo with so many other cards. Like Router plus Chaos Space, it's like the winning combo. Router plus Safer, it's another winning combo because Noctivision exists. And even Router just with like, if you already draw Ravine, then you in situation where you have to use um where you have to access Ravine, you can just instant making Rounders, making Sphere on the top because you already have the Ravine. And if you already have Router, due to the fact I have more Rocket Monster on the board, or in the deck, than I can put onto the board. Router itself, you can just special summon it when you control Rocket. That's also just full combo. Like in the Tiding version, due to the very few amount of Rocket, even you go Rocket Router, you probably can go really full combo due to the fact you don't want to activate Tracer. So the amount of cards that has good synergy with Router is only Safer in Space, occasionally Ribbing, and but in this one, or also yeah, and occasionally Ribbing, but in this one, I think Rocket Router is actually a full combo. You can just count how many cards that synergize go with Router. Safer, three Safer, um, all the Rockets, Chaos Space, Quick Launch, and even just Droplet Pitcher Router. It's definitely better than a Droplet Pitcher something else, right?
Yeah.
So that's why. Like two router is only good for this one because there's just so many rockets.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah, way bigger rocket lineup. Yeah,
So,
I'll definitely have to look at it.
mm-hmm.
Um, I'm definitely gonna play around a little bit tomorrow since
Yeah, it's
luckily I
like
have
it's only
no
what
work.
Thursday today, so you have like what 2 days left for the tournament.
It's Saturday morning
Oh, Saturday
because these
morning.
people are crazy. So
Ah,
I mean, I guess it makes sense for a big event. You don't want to do it on a Sunday and then like run over.
so you also prefer to start early for a big tournament because
Yeah,
let me
they're
see.
starting at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. I guess.
That's very early.
Yeah, right?
Wow. I mean, well, let me see. That the amount over 64, there will be what 7 runs? Yeah, you kind of have to treat it like a mini regional, honestly.
Because what you're gonna get what 20 to 40 drops
So it's
after four
yeah,
rounds.
so it's like what 7 runs into top what 16, and you guys probably
I don't even know what they're doing top cut,
oh
honestly.
probably should honestly. I mean, yeah, despite if they don't, it's at least still 7 runs because it's gonna be more than 64.
Oh,
Sounds like
definitely.
yeah. And since the cap is 120, so it never go break 128, so it'll be almost guaranteed fixed at 7 rounds. 7 rounds in average, every round take like an hour. Then starting at what? It's good. Say it's a good case. Starting at 9 o'clock, you finishing at 4, and this is
Yeah.
only when there's not even top cut. If you do still have top cut, with like top 16 and top 8 and top people probably gonna be trying to split at the top four, I think. So
Oh, definitely.
at least 2 more rounds, then no one like for whoever doing well, they not getting out until probably like 6 or 7 in the night for a 7 round,
Oh, definitely.
yeah, into top 16.
I mean, this tournament's gonna be stacked against me. I mean, this is like an hour and a half drive for me.
Oh, good luck on that.
Yeah. So I guess that brings me into another question I could have. Right, with bigger events,
Mm-hmm.
so do you really think about like going, okay, X2 or X1 is the lowest I can go?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess in this one, since I don't really know what top cut, we can only guess it's going to be top 16, top 8, worst case.
Yeah. Wait, so what was your question?
Uh, so I guess mentality
Mentality.
is, um, you know, where your losses are, and I guess what's
Mm,
an acceptable loss? I mean, do you still just play it out even if you win or lost, like say round one or two, and
see,
still play it out, risk that
see,
bubble?
this is something like I usually tell other people. The more you think, the more discouraged you're gonna get yourself.
Yeah,
So the best mentality, just don't even think about those things. Just play, and at the end, look at the results. If you make it, oh nice. If you don't make it, well, I guess you just go home. I mean, you still play a day of Yu-Gi-Oh, not bad, right? During the pandemic.
that's true.
Yeah, and usually it will be like, see, losing round one, round two is definitely discouraging, but it doesn't mean you are guaranteed out of the tournament. You're in the harder mode, but it's not impossible still. There have been infinite people where they just lost round one but win out for the rest and still make the top cut. Definitely exists. And for me personally, it's like if it's a unavoidable loss, then it happens. It usually actually happens at least once every tournament. Maybe more depends on your deck. Like depends on how good your deck is. So you're gonna have like at least one game or one match where your opponent just win the dice when they open full combo and you don't have any hand trap, despite you have 12. 12 or even 15 in the deck, which can happen because mathematically it's not 100% you draw a hand trap, right?
Right.
So a good mentality in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is literally you have to accept your loss because it's gonna happen, and um, because there are a decent number of them are just not avoidable. However, on the other side, there are a lot of loss for lower level players. Those loss are avoidable. They just really misplayed, mess up their combo, throw out a negate on something they shouldn't, and things like those, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'll just give you a very simple example. You full comboed and with spear, savage, hard red, tiding. It's full combo, right? You have everything that you can put on the board. Your opponent activates Shadow Fusion. You decide to, instead of using hard red, you throw your savage on it, and then your opponent has let your opponent activate their second copy of Shadow Fusion because savage only negate activation, not like hard red negate effect. Well, see that's a wrong decision for if that happened. Those can be avoidable because if you throw Hara on the first negate of first Shadow Fusion negate, then he won't be even able to activate the second copy because it's still activated. The activation still goes through. The effect on negated because it's Hara. And if you losing the game because you threw the wrong negation, then that's your own fault. And those can be avoided 100%. And those are something you really should just avoid as much as you can because they're avoidable. Sometimes they can be hard to see, but that's just where the more you play, the more experience you have, the more games, the more data you have on your deck, you will know that kind of things eventually. And like for me, when I go to a tournament, it will be like if it's an unavoided loss, well, time to go to the food corner, buy a hot dog, and that's it. And but if it's like something avoidable, I'll be very very disappointed because whenever I play, I'm just trying to not let those kind of things happen. That's how I played at all. Like if actually, I've heard someone else said it. If you're able to not misplay, like the very simple concept, if you're just able to not misplay in tournaments, you are already top 10 of the whole competitive community. Top no, not top 10, top 10% of the whole competitive community by just not misplaying. But it sounds easy. In practical, it's very hard.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
guess
just
the other thing I've always struggled with is especially with the pandemic,
hmm?
I don't have a test group anymore.
Same.
So
That's probably the same for a lot of people, honestly.
and I absolutely hate dueling book, and then there's no community on EDO.
Fair.
So
Well,
I guess what I always end up having to do is I'm either just hand testing, but you kind of lose that whole back and forth because yeah, sure you could duel yourself, but you already know what the your opponent has.
yeah, that's also like something because for a long time I don't even have like a fixed testing group or whoever are in the testing group with me back then were just not like not as good as me sometimes. It would be like sometimes I toss a topic, be like, what kind of things my micromanagement be like? They would be like, what are those cards? That kind of answers.
Yeah.
So the way I do is like for you it's gonna be different because the way I do is before a major like a YC is coming, I usually go to like a big regional and just play it there. And just throughout a 9 round tournament, I can realize what kind of improvements I still need to. Like I'm preparing the regional as imagine I was preparing for the actual ICS. Then I use the regional to test out my hypothesis, my theories, my ideas about the deck, and adjust it for the YCS the week after. That's actually something I've been doing for the past couple big tournaments, and I enjoyed it. Like the spot I'm probably in was not topping the regional, but I get the data is why I'm not topping the regional, and I'll do better. Like actually, the good example, right before my UDS wing, right, I actually went to a regional the week before. It was like a Connecticut one. It was a big one. It's like 400 people something. Right before the UDS, and during that tournament, I end with X11. The loss was because game one, I put everything attack, thinking it's a game one. and I got my opponent Mink deck double lightning storm because it was a going second Mech Knight Invoke. Well, time to learn. Now, even game one, I should play everything defense because there are a decent amount of people playing lightning storm in the Mink deck. So that the lesson number one. Lesson number two, my draw. I did not have hard red in the deck because I was thinking I'm playing combo deck. Should end it quick. Then I realized every single person was asking, what does these cards do? What does that card do? And actually burn time. Um and I end with going. I noticed that draw was against the Luna. I won game one after grinding back and forth because I dark ruled him twice to break the board going second. But
Oh,
that
you're talking
burnt.
about Philly, right?
No, that was a Connecticut one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So
Philly Luna or Luna Light.
oh yeah, Luna. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the game one, I came back after grinding. Um, Game two, I lost because he actually full combo with I have a worse hand. Then we started game three in time, and I look at my extra deck and look my side. I'll be like, well, I'm definitely going first. I'm definitely full combo, but I don't have the Scarlight. I don't have a win to. I don't have a way to win in time. So that's lesson number two. I know for the UDS for the bigger tournament I'm going, I'm tossing my Scarlight in the side deck for time, which both of them at the end won me the tournament and won me the bigger one that matters. So that's something I do. But for your situation, it's gonna be different because, for example, you're going to like sort of a small region, like a big 120 was a case tournament or cash tournament, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Cash.
yeah, but for you, you can't really like if you go to a local play like 4 rounds against your local people, you're probably not gonna learn that much due to the fact majority of them are gonna play like rogue decks, and you're not really benefit learning the matchup when you play against them. Thing I should do is like just well, obviously, if you go to a local, you know who's doing well there, right? So
Mhm.
ask those people, see if they down to play like a full match, with or without siding either way. Like with siding, then you can know the whole thing, but I prefer to start without siding because if your main deck isn't perfect, how you adjust your side based on it, right? So just play them for a couple games, um, see if they want to test. If they do, obviously that's good. That's actually a good experience because you actually play and allow takebacks during those because you're testing. You're not playing for the win. You're not like asking, oh, money match. That's a different concept. You're asking them to like test with you and allow them to take back. So if they understand it, they probably will also allow you to take back, as long as it's not too much. And then just whenever you do like a take back, you realize why you're taking back because the play you think afterwards are actually better than the thing you actually did slightly earlier. Now in the actual tournament, you gotta know which choices are available to you and which choices are actually better because it did come up in during the testing. So that's something you can do, and or just find people on Dueling Book. That's I guess the very few choices.
Dude,
You can
there's the
either just climb the ladder on Dueling Book, which I also hate it, or you just literally message whoever online that's you sort of close with, so you feel like that person is good. I want to test with him. Try to offer him and see if he has time to play, or even he's not done to play. Ask him to just send him your ideas. Some of them see if you can learn like by just talking to someone, sometimes you can already learn different things. So I think
like
that's
like this
probably
whole session.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that. It ultimately will benefit you. Like now you are still be like sort of in like phrase where you are majority time playing local, and the bigger tournament to you is like regional or big case tournament. Well, obviously when regional are back, right? And
Right.
eventually you're gonna step even further and you just be like, oh, you can consider doing well in regionals. Maybe you can try tackle some Weiss's tops. which that's the next stage of the game for a lot of players in general. So yeah, you can just keep repeating. There's like one recommendation is like if you feel like paying, you can join Dota's Academy. They do um have like the whole Discord server is like a good resource there. Just try to learn something about it. I'm not affiliated with them, but I am like I'm also paying. I'm also one of their students in the server though. But yeah, it's a good place. I got curious a couple months ago and hop in. And I'll be like, yeah, this is a very good place. Now I can actually recommend people whoever want those kind of resources join them.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
I I I definitely I think I was kind of looking at it, but I think the one thing I noticed is they didn't have anything posted pricing wise.
Oh, they do. It's on their Patreon, I think. I think. Let me.
I think you have to actually have a Patreon login to even
Yeah, just
see
just
that.
just register. Oh, okay. Let me check. Patreon.
Because when you asked me pricing on this, I was like, I'll just compare it to that or like what Cody was charging.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Those Academy has a lot of tiers. The one I would recommend, I think it's the one I'm paying is the $12 one per month, which
Okay,
is
that's actually
relatively
not
yeah
bad.
relatively affordable, and you get to I think the $12 tier you don't get any like coaching session with any of the coaches there, but you get to access the whole Discord and access all the archetype related channel, and you get to read all their articles they posted or videos. And I think you actually get to enter their quote unquote free tournaments after you have the membership. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
the thing. It's like $12 is actually relatively affordable every month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
that
like paying for a streaming service.
pretty much. How much is Prime? Like Amazon Prime is also what $12, I think.
Uh,
Something like that, I think.
yeah, it's like 14
14. Yeah, that's close enough.
because they actually charge tax on that. It's
Oh,
weird.
that's probably why.
I only remember because it's like one of the only like recurring payments I even put on a credit card just to keep that thing alive.
Okay, yeah, I log on my account and yeah, they have a $5. Let me actually change windows. See if window capture. Damn, one somehow I saw advertising DAs. Oh. It's
It all
probably
comes full circle.
yeah, it's probably just let you guys know I'm not part of them. I'm also one of their students, just in the
Yeah.
Discord server.
Oh no, I'm not taking it that way.
Yeah, that's
You're joking
fine.
about that.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm not sponsored at all. I'm not part of it, but whatever. I do recommend you guys check. So as you see, you should see in the Discord, right? Yeah, I also put it on the stream. So they have a $5 tier, the lowest tier. But I think this one is quite shitty, honestly. Yeah, this one's quite or useless in my opinion. The $12 one actually is good because you get to read and you get to read all their articles and all the um you get to read their articles and watch their videos that they posted privately. You get to hop into their specific channels, and you also get to enter those quote unquote free tournaments. And I think they've been doing like, let me see, it was like a tournament every week. They usually be like half of them every month be remote, half of them of the months be like DBs, and they alternate usually. And there's like a couple higher tier. Like if you really wanna if you wanna go higher, pay more, you can offer them. You can go climb another higher tier. You get like more things. I think you get more coaching session from people, and you get to submit your decks to like ask them to deck doctor for you, those kind of thing. Which two different people they have different demands, and Jesse's locked behind the highest paywall by the way. So yeah, it's pretty much. Oh, there's even a higher one. I didn't even see
Oh wow.
that. 125 per month is a lot. Damn. Pro League.
I who's doing that?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
Jeff Jones is still around?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Jeff is still part of them.
I mean, just in general, I didn't even know he was with Duelist
Yeah,
Academy.
he is. He's been there since the beginning, I think, if I remember correct.
Well, I mean, he's like one of the, your Billy Breaks.
Yeah,
He's been around forever, or Hoban.
like if you want to start, you can just be like take the 12 and see if you how you feel like it, and if you want more, start paying more. But the $5 one, you really only access to Discord and the tournaments. That's it. So
That
it's
that's
not
like
really worth.
just a Twitch sub. They
Yeah,
must equate it with that.
yeah, probably. Yeah. The 12 one is actually something I would recommend if you want to just start with it and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
check it out.
Yep.
The only hard part is we're not gonna see any like higher tiered events for a while
Yeah,
still.
that's
I don't think
unfortunate.
we'll see it until 2022
Um, if we
in the
are
US.
if we are lucky and we have a hope about the second half of 21, like when they usually start a new season in September, it might, but who knows? At this rate, I'm not feeling too good about it.
Yeah,
So
especially with the remote extravaganzas being the thing.
even the extravaganzas are still like decent tournament because just the extravaganza main event, it's actually about 300 people usually. It's like a big regional just online, which ultimately it's a good testing ground. So yeah,
Makes
like
sense.
if you feel like to actually, you can just get some remote duel equipments and hop on the train of remote duels. It's actually not that bad. I did at the beginning, but I just lost interest because I burned out on it. Before you haven't tried it, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I mean, it can't be worse than
Yeah.
signing up for random money matches on Luxury. So
Also, can be worse than just not doing nothing at home, right?
that's true. That is very true. You can always just be sitting in your room
Yeah.
shuffling cards all day and not doing anything.
hmm
But yeah, I definitely got something from this.
Glad
I
you
wanted-
glad you learned something.
yeah, it's been a while since I've been able, just talk Yu-Gi-Oh
Yep.
from a serious standpoint where someone's not, trying to meme in
hmm
the middle of conversation or give me
Nice,
their
nice.
bad ban list takes or
Mm,
you know.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
mean,
this is definitely very
yeah.
valuable.
I mean, if you usually have nothing, it's not bad to just also watch like Twitch. There are a few good players. Like, well, I usually don't even stream that much of before. I mainly only stream the coaching session usually. I think. Cody occasionally stream him playing DB. Gabe is streaming like we saw him stream earlier. Pat can stream almost every single day at this point, and he's been on remote locals quite often. So yeah,
The one thing with Pack, 'cause I am sub to Pack, is
mm-hmm.
more just he plays a different style than I do, so I don't really get too much from it. I do get some of like, his nuance and takes on some deck building.
Yeah, but see, it usually doesn't even matter what type of or what even play style it is, because play style honestly is a very vague concept. Like it's a weird thing. Would be like if you want to play good at combo, then you obviously gonna you prefer to also get good in controls because then you know what's important to them, so you what you should stop majority, and vice versa, the same thing. If you are a control player, it's never a bad thing to learn how combo decks works, even just play it, and then because doing that, now you know when you are on the combo side's perspective, you know which one is like more important to resolve and which one is like honestly a bait. And those are things you probably not gonna know if you keep being a control player. And those are something you only get to realize when you're actually playing the deck. So vice versa, at the end, you will be trying to just play everything and eventually pick the one you actually like the most, or eventually the one that's doing the best for you.
Okay, so it's more just thinking about it from
Yeah.
learning the different
Hmm.
interactions from different point of view.
Yeah, like it's never a bad thing to learn another deck, and even though it's completely different than what you're playing, because then if you actually facing the tournaments, you know how they're working, you know what's their actually weaker points, and you actually just hinge up that, and that actually cause more damage.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. I hate to admit, I kind of fall into that whole trap with being a whale sometimes, where you pick up every deck core and then you just don't play any of them
It's
because you just
fine.
don't know. Sometimes you're just
That's
kind of trying to
something
look for
that's
that one deck.
something better to do like on DB or just watch other like streamers, YouTubers doing it. Those are
Yeah,
actually easier because you get to see their opening hand usually, and according to their opening hand, their place, you'll know like why they're making the play. Oh, that's actually the better play or something like that. But they also misplay a decent amount of time.
that's true. But I mean, I guess in that
Yeah.
instance, they usually recognize
Mhm.
and kind of talk through why it was a misplay, other than chat just saying misplay, 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 or mislethal.
Yeah. Oh, also one thing good to play online is like DB has replays, and YouTube and Twitch you can pause and go back. So like you can literally have one opening hand by yourself and play like 5 to 10 times and actually learn what kind of choices are better.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got EDO Pro as well,
Yeah.
and I know they have their save function
Hmm.
too. See, but yeah, that I'll definitely have to, take some of the things we talked about today and kind of put them through. I'm gonna try. I did actually get someone to test tomorrow,
Hmm, that's
locally
good.
that's going to the tournament.
That's good.
So hopefully that helps. But I'll probably
Yeah.
pr- talk about it in general chat and just kind of
I
say
yeah,
my experience.
I think let me see. Does I will probably upload the whole thing. Probably gonna be like tomorrow, honestly, to the YouTube. So if you wanna rewatch part of it, just hop on YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be
Mm,
great,
mm.
honestly. And then have that weird effect of hearing my own voice and not recognizing it.
It'll be like that.
I forgot what they call it. I forgot what they call that. But
Meanwhile, my club is still not working 100% of the time. So
100%. This one's not a 50%er.
I learned a way to actually turn it on. It's like I actually hop to the website, turn it
Mm,
off, refresh, and turn it on, then refresh again. Then I think it should be working now. Yeah, it's working now. But once a while, like when I don't type the commands, it just not working again. I just have to do the refresh and twice thing one more time.
right.
It's
I wish I
annoying.
could help you, but I'm a network engineer, so
It's
I don't
probably
really touch too
yeah.
much at the software end.
It's probably just Streamlab being Streamlab. Honestly, it'd be like that.
Could be. I sometimes it could be, even something as simple as like an extension
Yeah, it could be.
interfering. You never
Mm.
know. But yeah, uh, thanks again, Shu. Sorry we have some weird, awkward pauses there. I'm not super
It's fine.
used to that. So
I mean, there's always going to be a technical issue for every stream, right? Just be like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the breaks in conversation.
Yeah, it's fine.
There are times where I was just kind of trying to process what you were saying.
Hmm. That's good. I mean, as long as you learn something new, then as I offered, I tried, I feel good with
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone to reach out to you.
it.
It's
Appreciate that.
definitely a good insight, and not just, on Dragon Link.
Hmm.
I think that's gonna be a hard one for you to shake for a little while, for sure.
That's the part I'm just like, I shouldn't say annoyed, but it's just very interesting to me. It's like, yeah, I am advertising myself saying I can do every deck, but so far every single person come to me are just focusing on the dragons.
Well, I mean, it's one of the top decks right now, and that's gonna be hard to escape. And like you said, the new upcoming meta with Lightning Overdrive and everything else after that's gonna probably shake it up.
Which I did post
Hopefully,
videos already about it.
that's true.
Mhm.
I mean, I think you should be growing. I mean, it'll probably just take another. Are you gonna play any luxuries like LCSs?
Not, not anytime. I think I'm just not feel like playing online. I probably just like still just go to real life tournaments instead, which I have one coming, I think, at the end of May.
Oh, that's not too far.
Yeah.
So are your locals doing a lot? Because you live in what, Philly?
I live in Philly, and there's one, it's like north or northeast outside Philly, which is open, have tournament every weekend. I do go there occasionally. And me and my friend actually been driving to like different areas for bigger tournaments because let me see, like during April there was like a quote unquote regional cash tournament that I went. It was like an 80 people one. It was and I top with it. That's I posted a couple video about it. And I think at the end of May there's like yeah, at the end of May there's sneak peek during the Memorial Day weekend. So I think me and my friend plans to go to New York for the sneak on the Saturday and stay there, or just on the Saturday night head to I think Connecticut. There's like also a cash tournament over there on Sunday, and because it's Memorial Day, Monday's off, then we have time to do whatever. Probably just coming back like sometime Monday. That sounds like the plan.
Traffic will probably be hell.
Yeah, we'll be all right, honestly. And yeah, locals in closer to Philly still hasn't really opened. They only open for purchase, not open for playing. And if I have to go to like tournament, I usually go to like locals outside Philly area or other even other states sometimes, or just my friend that I know actually occasionally hosts like hash tournaments in his place. So me and my bunch of friends will just go there play like a 10, 15 people tournament. That also happens.
I mean, those are always
Yeah,
decent size, especially if you're just,
yeah,
caught up in work or just want a quick little taste, I guess, and don't
pretty
have to
much,
hop online.
pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were playing so much local. I guess that makes sense why
I mean,
it's been a little
even
bit less.
even online is like feel like locals, and I don't really feel like. See, whenever I sit down, hop on my laptop, why would I hop on Duolingo Prof out of all the all the website existing?
It's true. It's because Yu-Gi-Oh won't, invest like Pokemon where they've got the TCG online.
No,
There's
yeah.
actually like a competitive community built all around it.
Hmm.
But that would require, Konami to actually have official rulings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get what you mean. I always prefer playing with physical
Hmm.
over virtual. It's just not the same. Like you can get better reads on people looking at them face to face and seeing their actual reaction to you putting a card down
Yeah.
or pro setting Darkle.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a good time. Thanks again. Gone through our 2 hours here, so
Yeah, hope you had a good 2 hour.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting coming straight from work and then hopping onto this, and then I need to eat.
Fair, fair. It's almost dinner time. Well, it's almost past dinner time actually.
Oh, did you not even get to eat today?
I ate a little bit like late afternoon, so I'm not hungry, but I probably should eat something else soon.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Yeah, it's like almost 8 p.m. for me, so
Like 10 for me.
10. Yeah, East Coast. Well, cool. Well, thanks again, Chu. I really appreciate it, and hopefully other people also gain from this, and this helps you get
Yeah,
maybe a few more viewers.
should be.
So I don't know. I think you definitely have a community that still likes the long content,
Yeah,
getting
they definitely
people
do.
out.
Like it's mainly posters just for in case anyone like in case whoever get coached want to watch it back again, and for whoever like for example you're on a long drive to somewhere, just play it in the background, something like that.
Yeah, I think when I was working overnight a lot, just since it was really like boring, I would just put you on.
Nice,
I'd put
nice.
like your videos or like any of Pack's, just because they tended to be longer and it was something I could listen to and stay stimulated and not
Yeah.
like doze off. So cool, cool. Thanks again. I'm gonna pop out. I really appreciate it,
Hmm.
and
You're welcome.
hopefully I can translate this into either a win or a decent placing. So
Yep. Good
either
luck.
way,
Yeah,
I
good luck
learned
in your
something.
tournament.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye bye. Okay, so this is today's coaching session. I probably gonna let me see. Oh, I probably who's streaming? Pack? Anyone else? I think that's it, right? Yeah, I probably send everyone to Pack now. Assume you guys are not already there though. And yeah, if any of you guys want like a session like this, just message me either Facebook or Discord. Both are fine, and we're gonna talk about it, the details, whatever. And that's pretty much it.